Imagine you are a woman living 15,000 years ago. You are deep inside a limestone cave, the air thick with the smell of wood smoke and damp earth. You are in agonizing pain. Every few minutes, your abdomen tightens like a vice. You are going into labor. There are no sterile hospitals, no epidurals, no heart monitors. There isn't even a concept of washing hands to prevent infection. You are at the absolute mercy of nature, about to perform the most dangerous biological task known to the ancient world. If you look at the animal kingdom, most mammals drop their babies quietly in the brush and walk away an hour later. But for you, a human, it is going to be a loud, bloody, and incredibly perilous ordeal. So how exactly did you, and millions of ancient women like you, survive? The answer involves an evolutionary compromise, ancient herbs, and a surprisingly weird shift in how we actually deliver babies. To understand what you are going through in this cave, we have to look at the ultimate biological trade-off, the obstetrical dilemma. Millions of years before you were born, your ancestors made a monumental choice. They stood up on two legs. Bipedalism was fantastic for running, hunting, and seeing over tall grass. But it required the human pelvis to become narrow and bowl-shaped to support our upright organs. At the exact same time, human brains were exploding in size. We were getting smarter, which meant our skulls were getting bigger. So, you have a massive baby head trying to fit through a newly narrowed birth canal. Evolution's twisted solution? Human babies have to be born completely helpless, practically half-baked, before their heads get too big. And even then, they have to do a complex, twisting gymnastics routine just to get out of the pelvis. As you lie there by the fire, this evolutionary bottleneck is the exact reason you are in so much pain. But here is the good news. You are not doing this alone. Unlike a chimpanzee or a horse, you cannot reach down and pull your own baby out safely. Because of the way human babies twist through the birth canal, they usually emerge facing backward, away from the mother. If you try to pull the baby up, you risk snapping its delicate neck. You need help. And this brings us to one of the most beautiful facts of human history. Childbirth is the oldest social event. Look around you in the cave. You are surrounded by the older women of your tribe. These are the original, prehistoric midwives. They have seen this dozens of times. But notice what you aren't doing. You are not lying flat on your back. Lying on your back to give birth is a relatively modern, incredibly bizarre invention. Fast forward to the 1600s, and King Louis XIV of France supposedly promoted women giving birth on their backs simply because he had a weird fetish and wanted to get a better view from behind a curtain. But you know better. You are using the oldest tool in human history, gravity. You are squatting, kneeling, or perhaps pulling down on a thick leather strap strung over a sturdy branch. By squatting, you are opening your pelvis by an extra 10 to 15%. But what about the pain? Your tribe doesn't have Tylenol. One of the elder women hands you something to chew. It's a bitter piece of willow bark. You chew it vigorously, letting the juices mix with your saliva. This isn't a placebo. Willow bark contains salicin, the active chemical in modern aspirin. They might also be burning specific herbs like mugwort or giving you a hot broth of raspberry leaf to stimulate your uterine contractions and speed up the labor. They are wiping your forehead with cool moss. They are chanting, singing, keeping a rhythmic beat. This isn't just spiritual, it's psychological pain management. The rhythmic chanting helps regulate your breathing and drops your cortisol levels, preventing your body from going into shock. Still, the danger is immense. In the ancient world, infection and hemorrhage are the twin reapers. Without antibiotics, a simple tear could be a death sentence within days. Some historians estimate that in certain ancient eras, as many as 1 in 10 women died from childbirth-related complications. But your body is built for this. With a final, agonizing push, the cave echoes with a new, piercing sound. The cry of a human infant. The prehistoric midwife catches the child. They don't cut the umbilical cord immediately with sterile scissors. They might wait for the placenta to be delivered, then sever the cord using a sharply napped piece of obsidian, a volcanic glass sharper than a modern surgical scalpel. You did it. You survived. When we look back at ancient humans, we often picture men with spears taking down mammoths as the pinnacle of human survival. But the quiet truth of our species is that the greatest survival story happened in the dark, surrounded by women. We survived the brutal gauntlet of childbirth because we communicated, we shared knowledge, and we didn't let each other go through it alone. Without the ancient collective effort of human childbirth, none of us would be here today.